Welcome to Old Friends, New Perspectives, a podcast where friends and laughter meet society and culture with your host,
Jill,
Brandon,
and Dakota. Let's get into it.
Welcome to episode 5. This is 5, right? Or
Yes,
4?
it's
it's
5.
actually
Episode-
5, yeah.
You know, it's 5. This is episode 5.
It's 5.
Yeah,
That's
episode.
what I
Yeah.
said.
Welcome to episode 5. Old friends, new perspectives. We're back. Jill.
Well, I mean, I already said it. You know, y'all are like, no, you're doing this. I am not opening.
Well, we're here. It's open.
It's
Yeah.
open. It's
Walk
open.
on in now.
It's open. So, you know, the White House is turning into just a dump, a circus. I don't know what you want to call it. He is taking $1 billion and he's going to give it to those January 6ers who pooped, pissed, and broke glass at the. You going to give them money for that?
Wait, they
Yes.
pooped and pit. I didn't know
They
that.
smeared poop on the walls. They peed in people's offices, and they broke glass and windows at the place.
I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't know that
Oh,
part
yes.
either. That's disgusting.
Oh,
but
yes.
it's not far fetched for the type of people that they are.
Oh, absolutely. And they, you know, there is research. It could be old, so don't, you know.
It's
don't
history. I
talk
can tell you
this.
that much.
When you take poop and you smear it on the walls, that's a cognitive issue.
It's mental illness,
There's something wrong with it.
Well, I mean,
but it's also indicative of their history.
it's mental
Fact-
illness to
factual history.
side with the current occupant of the White House, in my opinion.
No,
So,
that's just racism,
what about the black people?
stupidity.
Gotta call it like you see it.
I remember sitting in my recliner when January 6th was going on, and I was eating a bag of chips, and I said, "Well, this is who America has always been." And there was so much outrage on the media, and this is not who we are. And everybody was like, "Yes, it is."
I
This
love a
is
good
who we
bag
are.
of chips.
Yeah,
You needed a big bag of chips to watch that because it was awful.
and now they are getting
Rewarded.
they're getting a check in the mail.
Compensated.
Did y'all see the post where the lady was like, "Okay, we're gonna they're giving out this slush fund and we're gonna apply for it and we're gonna keep appealing until they approve it and da 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 da." So basically saying that we as people, as blacks, whomever, should be applying for the reparations or the slush fund, whatever you want to call it, to try to get our chunk of change, like piece of the pie, if you will.
Really?
And I left in the comments, does this have the possibility of like backfiring, like people who apply for PPP? And other people in the comments were like, that's a possibility. So I don't know about this.
I saw in California, the governor Gavin Newsom said that if anyone
Taxing
in
it.
California applies for it, they're going to get like 100% taxed. on it.
I saw that.
So,
That's a great follow up for that.
yeah.
Absolutely, because what is this money for? What are they going to use for? We've already seen how they
To buy
behave
more AR-15s, whatever they be having,
at the gun shows.
Yeah.
What else is new?
So just another day in America.
Love it here.
The bottom's falling out. But the WrestleMania thing is hilarious for the simple fact that we know that if any president, especially if President Obama would have attempted to do something like that, it would have been like outcries from the other side.
And it's in lieu of like the 250-year celebration or something. What does WrestleMania have to do with our history of as a country?
That says a lot just there. That's it. We
Like,
don't need
that's
to.
so random.
We don't need to talk anything else about this topic because it was just laid out for us, folks. This country is coming to make 250 years old, and what we have to show for it is a contraption in front or on the lawn of the White House that they messing up all that grass and all them plants to put that
I
mess
was
out
thinking
there.
the same thing. That grass is going to be
Well,
done.
he don't care. He's destroying historical portions of the White House, and who's paying for it?
Yeah, because he dug up the Rose Garden, right, to put the ballroom.
Dug up the Rose Garden that has been there for decades. There is something historical about that building, and to be quite honest with you, that building belongs to us.
Well, it was built by us. Us being black people.
Yes.
Of course.
But it belongs to the American people. This is not your personal home. You will be leaving it. We don't know how yet. We don't know how yet, but you're going to be leaving it.
Fannie Lou Hamer said that.
Once again,
Awesome.
entitlement.
Well, I know, Joe, you enjoy wrestling, right? Don't you like wrestling?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I'm mistaken.
Absolutely not. I don't want to offend anybody if you're into that, but I am a favor of more traditional sports. I know now.
But you have wrestled before, like you've wrestled a person, I'm sure.
Absolutely not. I have not wrestled a person while you trying to be funny. No.
I have.
I'm sure you have.
I'm lost. What else is new?
Sherry Shepherd. So I have enjoyed Sherry Shepherd's show for the past 5 seasons. It came to a close. I think she wrapped up her final episode this week. I saw on TikTok. The season was not renewed, and I was sorry to see Sherry go. We know that she kind of replaced that Wendy Williams slot when she had her health things going on, and then Sherry kind of slid on in. And I enjoyed Sherry Shepherd's show. I actually like Sherry Shepherd's show better than another popular
Jennifer Hudson.
I'm not going to say names, but Sherry Shepherd.
I think your answer was an answer.
But I enjoy Sherry Shepherd. So Sherry Shepherd always seems so genuine. She seems like
Joyful.
Yeah, like like she's just like that favorite aunt, like that you look forward to sing at the cookouts and all of that. So we wish Sherry the best going forward. And because
I love how you speaking to her as if she's our peer.
Yeah, because she's listening. She's listening.
Hey Sherry.
Hey Sherry. So we wish Sherry the best. So I was sorry to see that, because I like a good talk show. I do watch The View. I think I've been on The View. Did y'all know that?
Really? No.
As a guest?
No. I was in the audience, but they did. But during the break, because I had on like I had a fun sweater on, and the guy came. One of the producers was like, "Hey, where are you from?" And they did the whole thing, and they were like, "So you're just a teacher?" That's when I was still teaching, and he said, "You look like you do more than that." And
I'm just a teacher.
Someone who he didn't mean it like that. Someone who I was with was like, "Oh, he sings," and he was like, "You sing?" That's when Megan McCain was still on the show.
Really?
And they was like, "You have to sing for."
She asked you to tap dance too?
No, she's asked me to sing, and I sang. I think I sang something from one of the Broadway shows that was up. Might be like Hello Dolly or something like that. So yeah, that was a fun experience.
That's a wonderful experience.
Yeah. So, but yeah, shout out to Sherry. Shout out to all the talk show hosts who haven't been canceled yet. Like, what's old boy that got canceled this week? He had his last show. Yeah, Colbert. He had his last show too, because he kind of bumped heads with the higher ups, if you will.
Good for him.
But he
Trump wanted him canceled.
Yeah, but he had a good run too. So hopefully they I'm sure they'll land back on their feet.
Oh, most definitely.
And if Sherry ever wants to come on our podcast, we invite her to come on down.
Open invite, Sherry.
Yeah.
Y'all are
come sit in my
it.
dining room. We've gotten a crazy amount of rain. Have y'all heard about the super El Nino that's coming? That's supposedly coming. So we've obviously in South Louisiana and southern states, we know what El Nino is. It's a weather phenomenon that takes place with having to do with the temperatures of the water, and heightening our hurricane season. And so something around TikTok there getting around that it's supposed to be something called a super El Nino, where we're supposed to have like these massive floods and so on and so forth coming this season, and our hurricane season is supposed to be like that much worse. So we have that to look forward to, but also we've been getting a lot of rain. I feel like it never rains this much.
It never rains.
It hasn't rained this much in a while. Probably 16 around 2021.
Remember about 3 summers ago? Remember when it rained every day in June at 1:00? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean that could definitely be true. I mean
that's my point. That in a long time, you said 3 summers ago.
Mm-hmm. Because we also had a drought as well. I had to pull up a lot of trees. They basically turned to ash, like shrubs and things of that nature. So I mean, what's the alternative? We want a happy median, because we definitely don't want it dry as a bone.
Well, we don't need the water. We don't need the Gulf to get too hot, because with hurricane season coming, that just cooks up.
Super El Nino.
Yeah, that
a good gumbo. Yeah.
No, not a good gumbo.
Quite the opposite.
So we hope for the best.
We'll see how it goes.
Global warming is real, people.
Stock up on your toilet paper early.
Recycle.
And water. Get your bottled water. And a Generac put on your home.
It's not it's easier said than done.
They're nice.
Or have a loved one with a Generac. You can just go to their house.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that, because what you piling up in. As a loved one with the Generac, get your own Generac.
Get your own Generac. You're on your own.
But they're actually not as expensive as you would expect. Like, they're affordable, and I say that with quotes. Like, Yeah, if you like, especially like a 2-person income household, y'all could put aside for a Generac.
I mean, for your comfort, because I mean, if you don't have gas and we're out for days without
electricity. I want to be able to still do stuff in my house with air.
Yeah, no, but if you don't have a Generac, right, or you don't have those kinds of things, then you don't have a gas stove or things to cook on, you're running off electric, then you're screwed.
Absolutely. But yeah, Generac is a great investment. Shout out. Y'all want to sponsor us an episode?
You have a Generac, so what do you mean sponsor?
The show, clown.
Oh, a Generac sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're in South Louisiana and our lights are always going out. El Nino.
They will go out at the gust of wind.
Lights out.
Right. But anywho, getting on into the meat of the show. Speaking of summer and the flooding and all of that, on the other side of that, we have summer vacation, which has officially started for the chillin'. And, well, school-wise, but it is still very much spring. But as we continue to think of, or start to think about summer and stuff like that, as we transition into summer, we're going to talk about summer plans first. What do you guys have in mind, like, just as you anticipate the summer?
So I have some travel, but not like vacation travel. I have travel.
Where to?
I have travel for work. I have a conference to go to. I'm not going to say where because, I don't want people in my business like that, but I have some fun places to travel, places I've never been before. My mother's actually accompanying me on my conference. What she's going to do, I have no idea, but she is coming. I would like to, and we're going on a cruise in September, in late summer. So we're a group of my mom and family and stuff. We're going to go on a cruise, so we're excited about that. Currently getting all my short sets ready and linen ensembles for the cruise.
Open-toed sandals.
Yeah, all that good stuff. And so those are the two major things. But I have like some personal projects too that I need to finish. This summer is the time to finish.
Care to share?
Yeah, I'm working on a book that I've been working on for quite some time now.
Novel, fiction, biography.
It's a coffee table book.
Memoir.
It's a coffee table book, and not going to get into too many of those details. But
oh my God, what are you going to tell us?
But no,
top secret.
Yeah, no. So and then hopefully trickling in some day trips or something like that will be fun.
Yeah.
A few little adventures. I do know that with school being out, they had the teacher homecoming down in New Orleans, which is what they call the teacher leader conference, which all the teachers go to once school is out. And as a former educator, I know how much fun that was. It's like the pre-vacation for a lot of educators. They go down and really enjoy the city. So for people who are looking for something, kind of low end budget wise to do for the summer, visit New Orleans.
What happened to rags?
What is rags?
Club rags that they used to do for the end of the school year locally. No,
I don't know if they're still doing that.
I don't know.
I staple in the end of school year celebrations.
I haven't seen any footage of that. I don't know if they lost their liquor
license. Shout out to Rags, man. Seafood gumbo night.
The last time I knew them having something, it was at Red Stick here in Baton Rouge. But that's wonderful, to know that they're showing appreciation for our educators. So
what are your plans, Jill?
Well, gonna spend some time road tripping with the family.
Yeah,
we're going to Texas, but to San Antonio for some
a meeting. Negroes love Texas.
Yeah, love Texas, but I don't love all parts of Texas. But we are meeting up. Some of my grandparents, my grandmother, some of her siblings are still living, and so gonna get a chance to see quite a few of them, and so I'm excited about that. That always makes me feel close to her, so excited about that. Going to a sporting event because we know I love sports. That's out of the country coming up later on in this. It's in Paris. It's going to be in October.
Saints game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So going to do that. Never been. That should be exciting.
Who you going with?
Some friends.
Oh.
Yeah, going to come with them.
Well, these old friends weren't invited.
It's a girls trip. It's a girls trip. So gonna be doing that. And then just like Brandon was saying, just a sprinkle in of some other things. I'm hoping that I'll get out of town to see a baseball game. I love baseball. So hopefully I'll get out of town to see that. And have to have a beach trip. Like, it doesn't have to be like super planned, but I like to go when the kids are back in school. So like in September.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that hustle and bustle, it's still warm, but it's not all these people out there. I prefer that. So probably definitely going to do that as well.
So
But
as a beach person, like, do you when people say I love the beach, like, do you go out there, you stay all day, like beach bum?
staying all day, packing
exhausting.
lunches, packing water. It is, but the sun feels so good.
I'm saying the sun is what exhausts you. I feel like the sun drains your energy.
I
You
love
gotta
how that
know.
feels. I love just the idea of listening to the water and the sand and like the sky sounds. So the birds, I love it's something about that that's so relaxing to me, and I guess it's because it's hitting on like my senses. Like I can feel the sun on my skin.
Vitamin
I can
D.
feel the sand in between my toes. All of that like heightens things that feel good to me. So got to get that in. But with this weather that we've been talking about, I'm hoping that I get it in.
What's your favorite beach?
I don't know if I would say it's my most frequent beach. It's in a rural part of Florida off of 38, so like in between like Destin and Panama, and there's some rural areas there that I typically go with my family or friends. In the past, I've gone with some friends, but I like it there because everything's convenient. You're literally walking out of your condo, your Airbnb, and you can get your food, you can rent a bike, you walk across the street to the beach. Everything's just accessible. Got a favorite ice cream spot, got a favorite taco spot, those kinds of things, but they're all like in walking distance or riding a bike. The overcrowdedness of like a Miami or something like that is just
Trashy.
it's pretty, but it's just not my vibe. Like I just want family, relax, like I'm not trying to like wild out
the
like that.
boardwalk. That's a summer song about the beach.
Is it?
Down by the sea. Y'all don't know that?
Yes, of course.
I don't. As a beach person, or you like the beach? You don't like the beach, Brandon? Do you?
Yeah, I do like the beach.
Oh,
But I'm not gonna stay out all day, but I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh.
I like the sun on my face. How'd you say it, Jill? The sky sounds.
I love the
I
sun,
hate the
sun
beach.
on my
I hate everything about it. I like the water, but I hate the sand, and you can't have the sand without the water. So
Right.
it's disgusting to me. And not to mention, I hate the heat. I hate being hot like that. Like I said, the heat, like, it drains you. It makes it, as soon as you get back in or you get out of it, you like, all you want to do is like lay down, drink some water. It's draining. I hate it. And also as a person who has been historically overweight, it doesn't help either. So, but to be clear, even if I had the best body, I would still hate the beach. It's disgusting. But speaking of, I was about to ask, because like as a beach person, do you feel like, oh, I'm not going unless my body is right? You like, nah, the beach gonna get whatever.
Well, you didn't
body I
tell us
got.
what your plans were for the summer.
Oh, well, I was just asking the question first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for inquiring. I know last time you told me who asked me.
Look, my body is what my body is. I'm going to get the right swimsuit or cover up to, I'm not
Compliment.
going out there I'm not just going out there like just raggedy, but I'm just saying like it's not, I'm not going out there to impress anybody but myself. So I'm going to be fine with how it's looking. I'm going to make sure of that.
And there's some people that are really confident, with social media. I see some people walking on the beach and I'll be like, ooh, I never do that. But they be letting it all hang out.
Yeah,
literally.
I constantly. That's my alarm.
Yes, indeed.
Alexa, stop. Excuse that. It's real life. And I was about to say, no, I agree with you. I think sometimes I tell myself it's not about the body; it's really about your confidence. Because I see people with I'm not gonna say worse. I'll say different body types than mine, and they, like Brandon said, they let it all hang out.
Bold.
And I'm just like, I think the real problem is my confidence. I just need more confidence or audacity. That could be an audacity as well.
And I feel like here in America, we are so fixated on having this perfect body that doesn't exist.
Thank you, mainstream media and Instagram.
Yeah, and it's just like, this is not how people's real bodies look. And if your body does look like this in real life, you've worked on it. You've changed your diet. you've exercised, like you're living a lifestyle that helps you maintain that kind of body if you've done it, you know, without some type of surgery. Now, if you want to do surgery, that's on you. But I mean, I'm just saying, these bodies are not real.
I also add that sometimes, in addition to that, yes, most people do work on their bodies. You have to work to get the body that you want. And I applaud everybody who works on their body. Like, show it off, do whatever you want to because you earned it. But a lot of times, especially when people are trying to sell you the dream of the dream body, it's like, hold on. Yeah, you might have worked a little bit, but let's also be clear that you have great genetics. Because some things that I've tried to do with my body or trying to get in a certain shape or get this or get that, and it's like, buddy, that's just not in your genetics. You're just not going to have that. And so it's you need to understand your genetics as well to understand what you're working with or what's just attainable for you. Yeah. So I think that's also keep that into consideration. But to get back to Brandon's question, what am I doing for summer? I don't really have any summer plans because as we've spoken about, I don't want to keep
what are your plans?
I don't have any as of right now because I was about to say I don't have a job. But I'm scared to make plans because I don't want to spend too much money or waste no money. But you know how you be like, oh, I want to treat myself. Like I'm somewhere in between treat yourself and you ain't got no job.
Well, I mean, you could just work on, do a budget and something, low lift. I think it's like it could be a weekend getaway. I think you can vacation, when you have some other things going on, on the finances side or job side, just like I said, you go to New Orleans for the weekend, you like hotel rooms. So, get your hotel and, explore the French Quarter.
Ain't that not there for me, man? Go to no French Quarter. Shucks. Man, but I did think about I was thinking about Essence, but because that's typically some like summer plans too. But I don't think I'm going because the only people that I wanted to see was Monica and Brandy because I didn't get to see them for their tour. But that's just one act out of the whole night that I want to see. Like I really have no desire to see anybody else on the other days or anything unless the tickets was free.
When is Patti LaBelle?
She's that night too. She's the Brandy and Monica night.
Oh, well, I would only go. I don't care nothing about Brandy and Monica, but definitely if Patti LaBelle is there, like that's a good night.
Holland.
I'm okay.
Doing what, Jill? I'm sorry.
Hooting and hollering.
I'm not even about to entertain that.
But I mean, people are really excited about the lineup. Cardi B is gonna be there, so there's.
I'm good on her too.
Well, hey, me
I like
too.
her,
But
don't get me
the
wrong,
people
but
like her now.
yeah,
She
I
gonna
like her
bring
too.
her out.
Oh yeah, she gonna do a good show too. Like she's gonna deliver. I heard her tour was really great, but that's just not a draw for me.
Agreed.
There has been talk. Speaking of Essence, there has been talk that Essence might be moving out of the Crescent City, exploring other options like Houston or Baltimore and Atlanta, other chocolate cities, if you will.
That's
I know
wild.
they've had some transitions in leadership over the past couple of years, and then they've had
Chocolate City was DC.
I just said
Yes.
another chocolate city, meaning like a high population of Black people.
Right. So New Orleans is the southern
Yeah,
chocolate city.
right. I know they were bumping heads with some of the locals at one time because, they were saying they were bringing in outside influencers and wasn't using local talent. So it's been a lot of different things going on with Essence, but we hope that they get it together because I can't think of it being anywhere other than New Orleans, to be perfectly honest.
It's been there since the first time, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Essence is New Orleans.
And my I have an aunt and uncle who were at the first Essence. So, to hear
wow.
them talk about that first time, they're like, oh, and such was there and such this, that. And it's really grown, so hopefully Essence get it together because we don't want to see you
Figure
leave
it out.
Louisiana, because you still have a heavy following of people.
Absolutely.
New Orleans is a fun city and it's walkable. And so there's so many things that you can get into in the area of the Superdome where your acts are and throughout and gain some culture in those places. I guess I just am having a hard time understanding how they would have it. Like, you're going to have it in just a convention center? Because when I think about like Houston, Atlanta, where would the hub be for there to be walkable traffic, people in and out,
Because by
restaurants,
the Mercedes-Benz
bars?
Dome, there's some stuff around it, but not like New Orleans, not anything remotely like that, where you can walk up and down and see this and go into shops, go into clubs, bars. There's a few things sprinkled around there, but it's not like New Orleans at all. And then even when I think about, so that's the Mercedes-Benz Dome, but then I think about the the Smoothie. That's not Smoothie King. Smoothie King is New Orleans. What's the other one? State Farm Centers in Atlanta. There's nothing around that either. Like it's just there, and that's not even big enough for Essence. That's the smaller one. I don't know how they'll work in Atlanta.
Like,
Hopefully they'll figure it out.
hopefully they'll figure it out. It would be a shame if it's not here, but we will see as that goes on.
What other festivals happen in the summer?
Oh, in the summer.
Well, the festivals really start in the spring.
The festivals start in the spring. Essence is like our biggest festival in the summertime. So I mean, we've had Jazz Fest,
French Quarter Festival,
is that French Quarter Festival,
Strawberry Festival.
Fried chicken.
Has the fried? It's happened already.
I think
I
so.
thought that was in the fall.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. I just the news.
Yeah, you just blurred
Well,
it out.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, we do have a fried chicken festival. I'm not exactly
We have
sure.
Festival de Acadian in Lafayette and Festival International, which is in Lafayette too.
That happened.
Yeah, both of those have happened.
Yeah, I've heard that those are wonderful.
Rain
Festival
has the
International.
Frog Festival.
These are getting very interesting. I'm
Yeah,
not
then-
familiar with these. So what are
I've
they
heard
doing
of
at
the
the
Frog
Frog
Festival.
Festival?
You know, they have like the frog stuff,
And they
fried
crown-
frog legs.
They also crown a frog, Miss Frog Queen too.
yeah. Right back.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I feel like we've known somebody who was the Frog Queen.
We do know someone that was a frog
Yeah,
queen.
from college, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, she was a frog queen.
What a
Yeah.
fun fact.
Yeah, well, yeah, I forgot all about typical. Yeah, she
Uh-huh.
was a frog queen. I was having a conversation with somebody just the other day who's from Lafayette, and we were talking about Lafayette versus the New Orleans festivals. I like Lafayette festivals better. Like Festival International is always a good time. Because Lafayette is smaller, so it's a little bit slower. But the festival is really cool, right? Because it's free to attend and all of that, and the food and stuff is reasonably priced. They have these really good bread bowls where they put like the cheese and artichoke dip stuff in there. You dip it with the bread, and the bread is a bowl too. So it's like you have the bread to dip it with, then you once you eat all the stuff out the inside, then you eat that bread too, which is sopped up all that stuff.
Okay, you really sound like you're into it.
It's a
And you
lot
like-
of bread.
Yeah. But no, so I enjoy Festival International. Strawberry Festival is fun too in Ponchatoula.
You been?
Yeah, I have.
I never been.
But it's
Neither
always
have
a lot of people. But Jill, what's your favorite festival?
My favorite festival is probably French Quarter Festival. I like where it sits and how you're able to, just kind of go in and out of the quarters. Of course, the food is always great at that festival. And there's a mix of genre of musics, but I am looking forward to the Asian market that's going to be here locally in Baton Rouge. And it is just a plethora of Asian cuisine, from a food truck to a upscale restaurant type of food that you can get. And I just love that cuisine. So I'm excited about it. Now, whether I will get to it or not sure. And it might be raining since we've been talking about rain.
If it's not raining, I would be shocked if you didn't get to, because you've been talking about it since before it happened, before they rescheduled it the first time.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, I've never been.
What's
to
your
that.
favorite festival?
Probably Essence, only because I haven't been to a lot of them.
You don't like outside.
This is true. And Essence is the only one that is inside.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Dakota does not like outside.
Yeah, so I've never been to French Quarter. I don't think I've ever been to Jazz Fest. Yeah, never been to Strawberry Fest.
Well, when you were an undergrad, you went to Festival International, didn't it?
No, I've
Really?
never been to that.
Oh, okay.
Well, Jazz
Probably
Fest,
was
I'm
working.
not interested in.
I was probably working. Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked full time.
Yeah, Dakota worked full time in college.
Full time.
This
And went to
style-
school full time.
Dedication.
Fun
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah. You know,
Dedication. These kids not doing
his
all
mother
that.
instilled in him a great work ethic. So shout out to her. Shout
Hey,
out
Mom.
to Mama Dakota.
Hey, Mom. Outside of that, what is what does work look like? Work, like the non-leisure activities of summer, whether that's spring cleaning that's transitioning into summer, or hey, y'all leisuring and lounging.
Speaking of
leisuring
spring-
and luxuriating.
Spring cleaning. Do y'all put y'all winter clothes up in the summer? Like I hear people say, "Oh, I put all my winter clothes up." Like when people say that, where do they put them?
So they put them in storage, like usually in like a cedar chest, or just put them in like Tupperware and put them away. But I found that that's not a thing for us because we grew up in Louisiana. So most of our clothes are year-round clothes. We might have a few jackets, or somebody like us who like into that maybe a little bit have more coats, so we can just push them to the back of the closet. But other people have seasonal clothes that just aren't used for certain parts of the year.
Yeah.
But because we're from South Louisiana, we don't really have that because
We
our
don't
clothes
really
are
have
year-round.
seasons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I what I'll do is if it's like the bulkier items or jackets, I may put them in another closet, but I'm not necessarily, putting them in a storage somewhere because I have so much of these items, sweaters, jackets, etc. So I just put them in another closet. But, I mean, it's not like I have a lot of stuff because when is it ever really cold? Like February here? Like Mardi Gras
Consistently, too.
season?
Yeah.
Consistently cold to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull out my bag of sweaters because I'll be wearing them all week. It's not like that.
But spring cleaning for me, I mean, it's a time to get rid of clutter when you talk about things, but it's also like letting go of things that, hey, I've been doing this hasn't been working, or hey, I want to pick up something new, right? I want to spring myself forward into, a new season, and hey, maybe I want to exercise more. Maybe I want to change my diet. For me, I love gardening. And so what I like is I am now doing, I'm trying not to put nothing in the ground because I'm not cleaning up after it. But I like to do my gardening in a pot. So I have these giant clay fleur-de-lis pots, and I like to change that up for the season. So I'll do that. And then I just got in the mood yesterday and just start cleaning my house from sealing the floor. When you're in the mood to clean, you just got to do it.
I'm never in the mood to clean. That's why I have a cleaning lady.
Well, when it's deep cleaning, it's few and far between. I'm talking about the deep cleaning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you really doing some wiping down,
Yeah, I wiped down my baseboards in my bathroom, in my bedroom, not anywhere else. I wiped them down literally with like a hand towel. I was on my hands and knees doing that the other day. I just, like you said, I got in the mood to do it. And I was like, let me clean these baseboards, and they were dusty.
Well, I recently acquired a storage to put some stuff that needed to come out of the house. So I was proud of that because it's something that I've been needing. And I see the difference, that, hey, this stuff is kind of in the way. And I won't say in the way, it just didn't have a place for it. So, I've done some reorganizing. And I will say for me, a challenge for me with spring cleaning is when it's time to declutter clothes, because I never throw away clothes. I still wear some clothes that I had in undergrad 20 years ago. So I was really proud of myself because a couple of weeks ago I had like 7 big trash bags full to take to the local thrift store donation place. Shout outs. Yeah. So, I was proud of myself for that, but I think this is a good time that's why I asked the question about what do people do with their winter clothes. Because I was thinking about that as well, kind of starting to go through some of those things and maybe
summer purge.
Yeah, donating those during the purge.
For sure. I mean, for me with the clothes thing, if I haven't worn it in a year and a half, 2 years, I'm probably not gonna wear it. So I just kind of donate it and get rid of it.
And see, with stuff like that, I feel the same, but at the same time, I think about that with now that I'm living back here. It's like I haven't worn some of my jackets and coats since I've been back. But it's like, well, I ain't getting rid of that because if I do go somewhere else, I'm gonna need them.
Well, not essentials like that. Like, your nice coat, wear overcoat, or your nice suit jacket, or whatever those things. Not those essential things. I'm just talking about like, I bought this little T-shirt. I haven't worn it in 2 years. I'm probably not going to wear this. Oh, these jeans, I wore them out. They got to go. You know what I'm saying? They're not fitting, or they haven't washed well, or whatever. Those kinds of things. Because, I mean, to hold on to things, it can become cluttery.
Absolutely, especially when you got a limited amount of space in your house. What else do y'all like? How do y'all think the summer is now? Like, when we were kids, like everybody's anticipating the summer. Now, especially as a person whose profession doesn't revolve around the summer, like a teacher or somebody, summer is just when it's hot for me. I'm not anticipating it. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's just when it's going to be hotter. What do y'all feel like your summers differ from like when you were a child?
I think summer's different for me because a lot of the people who like made summer for me are no longer here. Because, summer, I spent a lot of time on my paternal side with my paternal grandmother and paternal great-grandmother. And, so my paternal grandmother, we walked a lot of places. Even when she got a car, she still liked to walk. And so, like, summertime, I'm always reminded of the watermelon man or the people on the side of the street with the watermelons. And so,
Sugar Town.
Yeah, we would walk Washington Parish. We would walk to the watermelon man to get a watermelon. We would walk to the fish market, and it was summers were literally just hanging out at her house. She was across the street from my great grandmother's house, so going back and forth. And so, summers have changed drastically since then because both of them have since transitioned. So for me, and just thinking in this moment, for me, I really try to do things, that still remind me of it. Like, I am a watermelon connoisseur. So I still, the summertime, I will eat a watermelon a week. And my grandmother was the same way. And, if the watermelon wasn't sweet, she would take it back to the people.
Rightfully so.
Quick story. One time we walked to the watermelon man on North Street. I think he's passed away as well. And she told him, and I quote, "If it's not sweet, we're bringing it back." Now, mind you, I told you we walked everywhere. So we got back to the house.
I would have been praying it was sweet.
And she cut it open, and it was not sweet. And I heard her getting the foil. And I said, "Mama, what you doing with the foil?" She said, "Oh, we taking this watermelon back." So I had a half. She had a half. Mine just like 8 years old. So we walking back down the street. My great-grandmother watching from her driveway. And we went back to the watermelon man. She put the watermelon on the bed of his truck. She said, "I want my $5 back and give me another watermelon." And
$5.
$5 and give
those were the good old
me a
days.
watermelon back and give me one for my mother as well. So we came back with 2 watermelons, and they were both sweet.
I was about to say, but were they sweet?
Yeah, they were both sweet.
Thank goodness.
And we eat salt with our watermelon.
Absolutely.
Oh, I like lemon. I like to
Lemon.
squeeze the lemon on top. It's delicious.
I never had that.
I never had that.
Amazing.
I can see that being good, but I never had that.
Yeah, like a
Amazing.
watermelon lemonade taste type. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
Try it.
Yeah, so for me, for summer, like the slow parts of summer is just enjoying a crisp piece of watermelon. The center of the watermelon is the sweetest.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the watermelon, as my grandfather would say.
James.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's what summer is for me.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, mine isn't anything, as
Nostalgic.
heartwarming and nostalgic as that. I guess when I think about summer from then to now, looking forward to the summer because it was like those longer days. Like I could stay outside more. There's so many, getting in the pool, riding my bike, all of those kinds of things, right? And so as an adult now in my routine, I dread the long days. I want it to get dark at 6 o'clock. It's time to wind down. It's time to get in the bed. It's time to take a shower. It's time to lay on the couch.
And it seems like when it's hot like that outside, and you have errands run, like going to the store, Sam's, Costco, whatever. All these people out because school is out,
and the day
sun,
is too long.
and the sun is
people
literally
out.
sitting on your. Sitting on your shoulders. It's like, golly, let me get back to my house.
The sun is down. Go home.
And another thing I remember from summer was window unit air conditioner, which people don't have those anymore.
Yeah, my grandparents had that.
But when they would crank that thing up and you would lay on the sofa under it and take the best nap.
Because it was the coolest air.
It was the best air. And it would drip outside. You'd have
Yes.
it was,
Yes,
it was,
in the driveway.
Yeah, it was the best air. I can still hear that hum.
Yes, I remember those. But yeah, for me just now it's just like, hey, this sun is not a part of my routine. Kids running around everywhere. People thinking you think you have all these hours in the day because you're going by the sun. You look up, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, and you're like, no. This wasn't supposed to be this way. I should have been doing something else. If we could stick to one time, I would prefer to.
Daylight saving time.
Yes.
It's been going away for like 6 years now.
Yeah, but I think their choice is to stick with the time where it stays lighter because they want Americans to be more productive. We could be doing more things.
I can see that.
But that's
This
what's wrong with us
capitalist economy.
now. We need to be in bed. Your rest is so important.
What country is that where the people take like a 3-hour nap break in the middle of the
Siesta?
day?
I think that's Spain.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do it in Paris and France too.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No, they don't do that in Paris. I've been in Paris twice and ain't seen nobody take no naps in the middle of the day.
I mean, not everybody's taking that, but I think it's a practice.
I don't think so.
I'll circle back and check.
Please do. Please do.
Get the facts.
Anywho, like so that kind of touches on like traditions and stuff like that. I know we used to take trips in the summer. Like we didn't have like this no fancy trips because we were broke. But my mom did like manage to take us places, and like I really applaud her for that because everybody didn't get to go, especially everybody broke didn't get to go on vacations, and she made sure that we like went a little somewhere, whether it was like Pensacola or something like that, or in the old days, Mississippi, like Biloxi and stuff like that. But then we've also been like Tennessee, and like that. I remember Tennessee was like the best trip. So we've been all over. So we take vacations sometimes. And then my mom was out because she was a teacher, and so we'd have like all types of activities. And then like if you're from Louisiana, like Breck summer camp was like a staple for me. I went to summer camp every single summer, and it was so fun. And a few summers I went to 4-H camp. That was really fun. It was a stay away camp, and I don't know how long it was, but it was 4-H camp, but at the camp's site was Camp Grand Walker. Shout out to anybody who went there. It was fun though. It was 4-H camp.
We went to Camp Avondale in Boy Scouts in the summer.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah,
I do not recommend it.
We went to Camp Marydale.
I've heard
Girl
of that
Scout.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really quick. Yes, many workers in Paris take naps during the workday. Official France's health ministry advocates for brief daytime siestas to boost productivity and employee well-being.
Well, guess
So
what?
they do it in France.
We're in America and we ain't getting no naps.
You got to have a forced nap since kindergarten.
Well, they taking that out of schools. They're not letting those children nap anymore.
Really?
When I worked security in college, I got caught napping on the job.
That's not so. Oh, I
You remember
that.
And when the lady called me, I woke up and I said, she was standing over me, and I went,
I'm sick.
That sounds like something you do.
Bruh, that's total tangent, but like we were like going to training to be like real security guards. Brandon was the only one that made it through the training because I ended up getting another job at Budget Rental Car, and that was my job throughout college. But yeah, we were both in training to get I forgot the name of that.
Hub Security.
Hub Security. Yeah. We had uniforms and everything, and we were about to be like real security guards. Mind you, we like what 17, 18?
We're 18.
Man, yeah,
and I had a position at the bus station.
And
I was at City Hall,
a crazy house or something like that too.
Yeah, then I had to work in the hospital one
hospital.
time. And I had to sit with this patient, and he ate the medicated patch that they had gave him, and he started like tripping out. And I had to
he needed to get high.
Yeah, he needed to get high. And I remember he was sitting there. He looked at me. He was like, "Man, I done messed up." And I was like, "Huh?" And he goes, "Man, I ate that patch." And I had to go run. I had to go run and get the nurse. So I'll tell people we have had some jobs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can say that for another episode because we can talk about a lot of jobs that we had and a lot of things that took place. But as we continue, thinking about like traditions of summer, whether it was a trip, whether it was walking to the Watermelon Man or going to the beach with your family, the next thing we want to talk about is like traditions. So I know the first one that we have been itching to get to that has been a trending topic of Baton Rouge and been all over actually national news, if I'm not mistaken, if not national social media news, is the celebrations at graduation.
Disgusting.
Specifically, Baton Rouge high school graduations. The question is, is this a dignified ceremony where we should be like very upright and tucked in, or should we be able to celebrate the way that we choose to because we've accomplished this and we should be able to celebrate the way we want to?
So I think for the listeners, for someone who might be listening who isn't from Louisiana, you can just if you Google Baton Rouge graduation on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, it will come up. But if you don't want to do that, a quick explanation. I guess over the past decade, it has become the trend for once a student, when he or she gets their diploma, they do a dance, which is called jigging, which is a local style dance, if
Native
you will.
dance to Baton Rouge.
And some people, or some people do cartwheels, different things. It's not just jigging. And now it's turned into like the whole class now erupts into this dance sometimes during graduation. And the debate is, is it disruptive or should the children be able to celebrate? So Jill, what is your take on it? And we'll go around.
I think that there's a time and a place for celebration. I think that when you walk across the stage or once you've gained your degree or your diploma, you want to feel individualized because you're out there with all of your other classmates, right? And you want to be seen. And so some element of it, I get it, right? But what I've seen, it just seems disruptive to the ceremony. The ceremonies are not that long, okay? And so if you want to do that when the ceremony is over, I get that. But doing it during, and there are other people who are graduating when you've decided to start doing all of these things and having these outbreaks, and so it impacts the other parents, their loved ones, seeing their child walk across the stage and being able to hear their name, because it is so much chaos. That's all I see is chaos. And obviously, I graduated from high school many moons ago. However, sometimes I feel like there's a time and a place for things, and I think things like graduating and what that should mean to you, it just seems like it's watered down to foolishness.
Foolishness. That's funny.
Foolishness.
Brandon, are you next, or are we going?
I mean, yeah, I can go. I don't like it at all. You know, as a former educator, high school educator, you know, we ran graduation. It was a tight ship. And I believe that the jigging is a reflection of the administration, to be perfectly honest, because when I was in the classroom, that's when it started like 10 years ago. And I was talking to a former student just the other day, and she said, you know, Mr. Lewis, we never thought to do that because we knew what the expectation was from our principal.
And sometimes the consequence.
Yeah. And from our principal, from our teachers and all that. And we told them straight up, this is not the place for that. And you have some people, you know, you're looking online, people like, oh, those kids have 12 years, you know, they done seen X, Y, and Z, let them celebrate all of that. But my thing is, we are normalizing chaos as a people. And I made a letter to the Black graduate a couple of weeks ago, just discussing how, speaking from the black point of view, you know, our grandparents, you know, went through the civil rights movement, was getting shot by hoses, ate up by dogs, all of that. And they still maintained their dignity when they got that sheet of paper because of what it meant, you know, because of the sacrifices. And let's be perfectly clear. Everyone's like, you know, this is a huge accomplishment. It is very easy to get out of high school now. You're not even allowed to give students zeros anymore. If I give an assignment in August, they have up until like the last week of May to turn it in with the no zero policies, because they want them out of school. Then there's a thing called credit recovery. If you fail the first semester of English 4, you can take it again while you're taking second semester on credit recovery after school on the computer. So whereas when we were in school, we knew that if we failed something the first semester of our senior year,
summer school,
right? But
rainbow graduation,
rainbow graduation, right? But they you know, they don't know anything about that. So people are like, you know, oh, it's so hard for these kids. No, it's not. It's not hard for them. It's literally handed to them now. And, you know, and it is disruptive. And, you know, people talk about, well, that's how we're expressing ourselves. No. Now, I do like in New Orleans, you know, at the end of some of the graduations, they have the second line band comes and the children's second line out.
But that's organized.
Yeah, that's organized. And I think, you know, I think it's appropriate. But when I hand you your diploma and you decide to get down on the steps and do a cartwheel and dance and do X, Y, and Z, and your second cousin in the stadium, she's screaming and hollering too, and they can't even hear the next child's name, you know, come on now. It's chaos.
Yeah, fair. I think for me, I think bias me says cut it out, like chill. Like it's just, we can celebrate, but there's a way to celebrate. But I think objective me says, oh yeah, I think they should be allowed to celebrate in a manner that is indicative of current times, current culture, current practices, if you will. Because yes, our grandparents did things and they were very dignified, but also life was just very different back then. Certain things that happen now would have never flown back then. And I think that times change, and I think things can change with it. I think that the graduation, there's a place to be dignified in graduation, and there's a place to, you know, cut a fool at the end of it too. But I think, like you guys were saying, well, like Jill was saying, hey, it can be more organized. So, hey, we're going to call these names. We're going to do it decent and in order. And we're going to make sure that everybody gets their recognition and their just due. And then when we get to the end, I'm going to give the word. The DJ is going to kick the music, and then we're going to cut up. But other than that, I think that chill. Like, don't do that in between. I think that it should be put placed into like the student handbook or the graduation ceremony handbook about the code of conduct and so on and so forth. And if you cut up, somebody's gonna be waiting to write your name down, and you're gonna have to come and attend X, Y, and Z summer school courses or some type of consequence to make people stop doing it. And then it'll be like, hey, we told you. So you should have stopped. We were going to give you designated time to cut up. But since you want to do it on your own time, on our time rather, you have a consequence now. You're not going to get your diploma. You're going to have to suffer a consequence where you have to come back and do X, Y, and Z to actually get it. There's going to be a penalty. So I do see it both ways, where it's like, hey, give them what they do, because that's culture now, especially locally. But I just think there's a structured way we could do it, and everybody can be satisfied, and we can still maintain, like Brandon said, the dignity of what a graduation ceremony has always been. And so I think there's a place for both of them.
Well, and I also blame some local administrators of some of the schools that have normalized it, and they get on social media and they defend it, my kids, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. And we are also setting our students up for failure, because the world doesn't work like that. There are rules. And just because all of us would love to express ourselves a certain type of way on our jobs, but we don't do that. We would all like to sit up in a meeting and completely tell somebody off across the table for getting on our nerves, or respond to an email in a way, but you can't not do that. There are rules. And so, but we're conditioning the children to think that, well, because this is how you feel, it's acceptable. And we all know that's not how the world works.
But I think that some things were said. Dakota said consequences, they don't seem to have any, right?
No.
And also something that you said, Brandon, that I think is important, they don't have any rules. These children going to do whatever they going to do, and then there's no consequences for them. There was fear. There's something that these children have. They don't have any fear.
Level of fear.
You have to have a healthy level of fear. If a principal or a teacher was telling you something, yeah, I am graduating and get out of here, but I know when I open this diploma book, it's empty. So let me act right, because I'm gonna need the paper to put in it. Now, is that still how they do things? It has to be, right? And being able to say that you have graduated from any level of education, it is an accomplishment, right? And this is probably not going to go over well, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's not going to be good.
Sing it, sister.
If you don't know how to act at this, how you going to act after this? Like Brandon was saying, how you function moving forward? Because what I'm saying is somebody that don't have no sense. No sense. I understand that the way they dance, the things they like, the stuff they do, it's not going to be what I like and do. But at this point, this is just distasteful.
So I hear you, and I think I agree to an extent.
I'm just old, I guess.
I was about to say, I think we've also gotten to that age to where it's like, Lord, these churn today.
No, because we have peers who sent me a message on Instagram defending it. And so I don't think it's a age thing at all.
Oh no, I just meant us three.
Oh, okay.
But no, I do think, I don't know. I think that I get what you're saying too, Jill, about, hey, if you're doing this here, how you gonna act outside? I don't think it's a reflection of like out there. I think it's just kind of like, I'm choosing to do this in this moment, and I'm cutting up. And to some individuals, yes, that's accurate. But I think there are exceptions, even to like what Brandon was saying. Like, it ain't hard to get out of high school. So to every point that he made, absolutely. Like, there are people being spoon fed and handheld to get out of high school. Like, they made it very easy for some, but there are all other kids who work hard to get out, and they leave with all types of accolades and badges and medals of honor and stuff to go to college. And we're not talking about them, but some of those kids, even the brightest of the bunch, want to jig and cut up.
Oh,
so it's just kind of like,
absolutely.
I think there can be a place for it, but it just needs to be a lot more organized and done in a way that
do it at the graduation party.
Do it at the graduation party, or do it after every child's or young person's.
Don't do it inside of. Let the children sing the alma mater. Do all that. Y'all walk out. get out them people parking lots so the security guards could go home, get to your house where y'all have y'all balloons and your banner and all of that, and then do it at your heart's content.
Right.
That is where, don't do it in the parking lot of Chimes. Don't do it go do it at your house.
My beloved Chimes. Okay. So I guess that's where we stand on that. Feel free to leave a comment if you would like to weigh in, especially if you're from Baton Rouge. Moving on, what about like family traditions as far as family and marriage? What do you guys think about like traditions as far as that goes? How has those things changed? What do you still kind of value as it relates to family traditions and or marriage?
Well, when we talk about marriage specifically, I guess, growing up with both of my grandparents being married, my parents being married, and thinking about the tradition of marriage to me, they got married at a young age. They grew up together, or they, lived together in the same space at a young age, and they created a bond that, I wonder, not just for myself, I'm a single person, but just for society in general, I don't feel like that is like the thing. Like, I feel like when my grandparents and my parents talked about marriage, it was like, you need to find your husband in college now, baby. You need to be looking for somebody, because, once you get out of college, it's going to be hard for you. It's not going to be the same, or, gender roles and things of that nature, right? So when I think about, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, the things that he did, these were just manly things. And I grew up seeing that. And with my dad, right? Gender roles, but that real thing, right? Those are things that I have gotten away from because that doesn't exist in my life, right? So I don't have that male person in my life or, to do these things for me, right? So I need to be able to do some stuff for myself, right? When we talk about gender roles in marriage.
That still doesn't mean that you don't hold to those traditions, because you still value those traditions.
I still value them.
It's just not a reality.
It's just not a reality.
Gotcha.
Right. And so with that, I look at things differently. One day when I do get married, right, then will I still continue some of those gender roles and traditions?
Will. Yeah, you absolutely will.
For sure. You're gonna flip back over quick.
You go turn into Betty Brown nose at the drop of a dime. For me, and
Betty Brown nose.
for me, Jill, like Jill said, like my best example of marriage was my grandparents. I will say, because they were the most traditional. Momo fixed Papa's plate first. She cooked, she did all that. My great grandmother as well. Even when my great grandfather was bedridden, my great grandmother still fixed his food first, like the men, always ate first. And then, my grandfather would pick up the plates after, and put them in the kitchen. And, you saw, that give take, if you will. Papa woke up every Sunday morning when he got home from church and he mopped the entire house. Like that was his thing. So, you saw those different, I guess, traditions, that they kind of held on to. When it was time for a road trip, Papa always drove. My grandmother never drove. My grandmother never got gas for her own car. He would go and fill up the cars on Sunday after church. He would wash the cars on Saturday before church. Yeah. And she would, and when she would go to the grocery store or go, shopping and stuff, she would come back with new socks, underwear, things that she noticed that he needed. He never had to say, so it really was a tradition, and it worked. Now the thing about my maternal grandmother was she was bossy. She was the boss of the house. She was a retired prison guard, and she did not play.
Really?
Yeah, but when it came to those wifely duties, like she was from the old school, with that. And then on the other side of that was my paternal grandmother, who stayed, I think she stayed married for like 3 months. And I used to be like, well, Mama, why you didn't stay married long? And she was like, oh, because he decided he was going to do X, Y, and Z. Like, she was no nonsense.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, and so from both of those instances, I learned that, marriage is 50-50. And then it's also is you do not tolerate disrespect in a marriage either. And it's okay to walk away from it, because I think some people's tradition is, some some people's parents have stayed in marriages. Some people stay in marriages, you know, because
as Betty Wright, time has taught me that having a piece of a man,
yeah, they have the Betty Wright syndrome,
Preach.
you know, and they stay in these marriages, and it's like, you know, it's purity hell. And as Tyler Perry said, I could do bad all by myself. You know, so for me, when I look at, you know, when I think about marriage and I think about what I, you know, would want to see in my home, I would want to see what Gladys and James Lewis had. You know, I would want to see, and I'm not necessarily like, I don't need my wife to fix my plate first and all of that. But, you know, I know that if I do the cooking, you know, when she cleans up, vice versa, you know, I mop the floor on Sunday mornings, things like that. It should be a balance. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say I think I have to do all the driving, because I hate driving. You know, so there will have to be a compromise with that. But I don't mind going to fill all the cars up. You know, especially in today's age, I wouldn't want my wife, you know, at the gas station, you know, in the middle of the night or even during the day now, because, you know, anything can happen.
She can go on lunch.
Huh? She can do what?
I said she can go on lunch break.
But you know, but no, but I think, you know, I remember some years ago, I was calling myself trying to court this young lady. And I had said something about flowers, and she's like, "Oh no, I don't want flowers. I don't want flowers anymore. Girls don't like that." And I remember telling my grandfather, I was like,
flowers?
"That girl said she don't
Hussy.
like." My grandfather was like, "They don't like flowers no more." And my grandmother was like, "Well, she ain't no woman," you know. And I remember my grandfather told me, "Well, you know, you need to go take it for ice cream." I was like, "Well, Papa, we don't have ice cream parlors." But you
We
know,
do.
not in that sense, you know, like with the soda jerks and all of that. You know, but so, you know, I just think about those things, you know, that they instilled, the things that I observed, and I just try to apply them now. Has it been successful? Absolutely not. But, you know, there's still hope.
Keep hope alive.
And then there's me in my experience.
Come on with it.
I have had absolutely no positive male influences in my life. I don't. Am I leaving somebody out?
I have nothing. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not lying on anybody. If I am, and I'm not saying it like, oh yeah, y'all so trifling, but I'm just being honest. Like, I have had to figure things out as far as being with a man, quote unquote, all by myself. I mean, my mom has taught me things, of course, but she's my mama. She ain't my daddy, and she's not my grandfather. She's not my uncles. And I've had some decent men in my life. Like, everybody just wasn't robbing and stealing and killing, like nothing like that. But they wasn't what you would want your son to be like. Oh yeah, be like him, be like him. Yeah, they might have had a good heart. They might be a good person. Absolutely. For sure. No doubt about it. But to be the exemplary person in the life? No. I would never tell my son to be like that person. And my mama wasn't telling me to be like them. It was just kind of like, okay, well, they nice, or that's your uncle, or that's your my friend. Or, so no, I don't think there was that, what you guys spoke about, that example that I was able to see for myself. My parents were married before I was born. They did everything the traditional way, but it didn't work out. And, you know, for multiple reasons. Yeah, none of them were the example as far as that marriage was concerned. They gave it the good old college try, but it just didn't work out. And that happens. But I think that I've come up with some great values to bring forward to a relationship. And I think that gender roles are not a part of that. And I think that whoever I end up with, I would want a partnership where, similar to what Brandon was saying, hey, the responsibilities are shared. Yes, there are some things that I just don't want to put you in harm's way or something like that, regardless of what it is, whether it's taking out the trash at night. If you feel like, oh, well, you know, I might get bit by a dog or somebody might snatch me up. Okay, if you that scared, I'm going to go do it for sure. If you don't feel safe, I'm not going to put you in harm's way for sure. But as far as the whole, you take out the trash, I do the dishes, like Brandon said, you drive on all the family vacations. Hell no. I want to be in the passenger seat sometime too. Yeah. I want to be treated to the ice cream parlor every once in a while too.
Jill talking about, yeah.
Ain't gonna be the first one talking about something. This nigga don't want to take me.
No.
This nigga asked me to do X, Y, and Z.
No. Well, how could that be the case? I'm doing everything right now.
That doesn't matter. You don't have anybody. But as soon as you get somebody, you're going to expect them to do X, Y, and Z.
No, let me stop you right there. It's not going to be the expectation. Somebody is going to be so crazy about me and love me so much that they're going to know the things that I'm willing to do, and they're going to fill in the gaps. And it's going to be a wonderful thing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
so once again, the expectation is for him to come in wanting to do these things.
Jill is not driving anywhere.
That is not true. I get behind that wheel. I will drive.
Jill is not going to drive
right now because you don't have a man.
Jill is.
They aren't marketing me very well.
Jill is not driving. Now, I do think, I think Jill will make an excellent wife. She would take care of the home and do all of those things, and be very supportive. But when it comes to those traditional gender roles,
like her dad, like her grandfather,
that man better fall in line, because if not, there will not be peace in the kingdom. To the point where, if you be like, hey, I can hear him saying, hey, baby, will you take the trash out? Jill will go to the extreme. And like put on overalls, like, you must want me to be an effing farmer, yada yada yada.
This is a bad description of how I would be behaving. Okay, that is not the.
She laughing because it's true.
And that's okay, Jill.
It's okay.
It is okay.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
It's your choice.
For me to assume or expect that a man know how to do certain things.
No, wait. Yes, it is wrong for you to assume that a man knows how to do certain things, but it is not wrong for you to want your man to do certain things. To assume that he knows certain things, yes, that's wrong, because it's wrong to assume anybody knows anything.
Sure.
But to want them to do something, no, that's not wrong. That's your preference. That's what you want in a man, and that's what we were saying. You want that, and that is your expectation. You want your man to do X, Y, and Z, and you're not willing to waver on that.
I mean, really.
The tone of your voice says it all. I mean, really. You went from Dr. Jillian to,
I'm being attacked.
Now, let me ask this. Speaking about traditional gender roles, do we think that if someone's in a marriage, should the man's income be the sole support of all of the household bills?
Depends on what woman you asking. Jill?
Okay, no, we heard enough. I
mean, guys, I would just like the record to show that she looked very under-eyed. She rolled her eyes up. It just looked like, well,
look, this is the thing, right? You are meeting, a relationship is about two people, and figuring out how that person contributes. It matters about different things. Traditionally, men can make more than women, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you think about that, what makes sense for the money that we have is really how I think about it. Like, okay, this is what I'm able to help with, because these are the things that I can keep up with. Maybe the house we're living in, I can't keep up the mortgage, but I'm going to do all of the grocery shopping. Right. And so figuring out how to create some kind of balance, seriously talking about finances is something, right? Because you don't want anybody to be burdened by anything like that, because to me, that's a breeding ground for resentment.
I agree.
Yeah.
So you got to balance
and
that.
Not just resentment, but also entitlement. So if I'm doing all this, that means I also get to do this. I also get to tell you what to do. I also get to tell you how to do it. And so it's just, I think you have to do whatever works best for you and your person.
Right.
And I think you don't let those expectations of society, of grandma and grandpa or mama and daddy, you say, hey, these were great examples that I might have had, but let's figure out what works for us. Let's talk about what I want, what you want, and how we can meet in the middle and what we're both able to do. And then we can have a healthy relationship because we've communicated those things to one another. And now we can move forward and have our own relationship that sets its own standards.
Yes, the big C, and you are individuals. You are not those people. But I could see how the traditions and the values could rear their head. However, the big C is important. No good communication.
Was it cancer?
No, in the context of which we're talking. So that would be communication. That, it's an important thing because you cannot assume.
Exactly. I think definitely you don't want to assume anything. Ask questions, communicate effectively. So yeah, I think that was a really good wrap up to the conversation. So we talked about a lot of different things today. Any closing thoughts on anything that we've talked about, or maybe something that didn't come up that you want to touch on real quick as we get ready to shut it down? Episode 5.
I would just, suggest for the summer as we are gearing up, everyone, of course, be safe and find time to get a good sweet watermelon and enjoy it.
If it's not sweet,
and
take
if it's
it back.
not sweet, take it back.
My tidbit is, because I'm a beach lover, please wear sunscreen. No matter how much melanin you have in your skin, protect it.
Absolutely, because black people do burn.
And we don't believe it, and we think that we protected by the melanin, but it can happen. So when you're out and you're having a great time, make sure you put on some sunscreen.
Because black don't crack, but it does sag.
And it does get skin cancer. So
yeah, that too.
So make sure that you wear that sunscreen, specifically SPF 50 or higher. And I will just say, based on the summer conversation, stay hydrated too. Like, drink your water, not just water, but water with electrolytes, because we need that too. You could go out, sit on that beach and be cute, but don't pass out.
The Equate is not going to do it.
Equate?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's like the Boost, huh?
Yeah,
No.
Equate is a brand.
No, Equate, like Walmart Equate brand of waters. Isn't that what it's called?
Oh.
Yes. Like Walmart's Equate brand.
Yeah, they have Equate, but it's not the water. I don't think the Equate is the water.
Oh, I thought they did have.
I thought it was Members Mark.
It's Members Mark or something like that. It's
Oh, I
just
thought
Sam's.
Members Mark is Sam's.
Sam's. But no, Walmart has one too, but it's not Equate. I know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Equate is one of their like medical brands for
Gotcha.
generic stuff.
Gotcha. No generic water is what I want to say. You need to be drinking some water that has electrolytes, because the generic waters do not. That was the point I was trying to
Smart
make.
water?
Didn't go over well. Yeah, Smart Water has electrolytes. Get a pack, IV hydration or something like that to add to your water.
Or you could also sprinkle a little bit of pink Himalayan salt in there as well.
Really?
That has electrolytes. So you could get the generic water and just put that.
Sound like
There you
witchcraft
go.
to me.
Anywho, we shut it down. So thank you guys for listening once again. And we're signing out. Any last words, folks?
Bye.
We did our last words already.
Whatever.
Follow us for updates and new episodes at Old Friends, New Perspectives on all social media platforms and wherever you stream podcasts.